And the interesting thing, I was just reading this case about this mom whose 15-month-old died. She was a scientist at Procter & Gamble, and her husband was too. It was in Ohio this past year, and she started this big campaign. But the interesting thing was she didn't even realize she had done it until her husband called, and he said, they can't find our child at daycare. And the mom was thought somebody kidnapped the child. I mean, she didn't even initially think it was her. And then she panicked, and she had left work a little bit later that day and let her child sleep in, so they were out of their routine. And she went running to the parking lot, and I mean, it was so tragic. But there's it was interesting. I was reading through that when we were talking about it, because they're saying now that parents should tell daycares to call them if their child isn't in attendance. But child care centers don't routinely call parents when kids don't come, probably because they're little and they're not mandated to be in school. I mean, the public school system will call you. We would get a million phone calls or voice messages. Your child is not in school today, but child care centers aren't required to do that, and a lot of them don't. So she has a big campaign. It's like bags in the back now. And that's all about putting those reminders in the back seat, whether it be your briefcase, your phone, something that you're going to need to get once you reach your destination. And then take action is the big deal, is call a 911 immediately if you see a child or an animal alone in a car. When it's only 72 degrees out, there was a car death because the temperature rises 19 degrees in a matter of 10 minutes. So, yeah, absolutely. It's a year-round issue, unfortunately, and the numbers have been on the rise. We had 42 last year. It's doubled in the past 2 years. We talk about 42 deaths, but we don't talk about the near misses. And just a couple weeks ago in South Carolina, you probably heard that there were 5 children that were left in a car, and there was somebody that was walking through the parking lot, and they saw the children, and they immediately called 911. And fortunately, the kids are okay. But there's hundreds and hundreds of near misses every